This is Andy from HowEFIWorks.com, and I'd like to show you today that you can use Mega Log Viewer for doing things that you probably never realized was possible. In this case, this happens to be autocross data coming off a Q-Stars GPS. You can purchase these little devices. They're a little self-contained battery, onboard battery with a little hard drive. Basically, it is a data logger for GPS. This happens to be an autocross. Looks like 4 runs. And I've played a trick to get time to work. But if I hit Control P for play, you can see the car running through the course in real time. If I hit Control S, I get stop. On the left side, what I'm showing is speed. So blue is down in the 20 mile an hour range, and 50 is red. And you can see where we hit 50 mile an hour up here in this area. Blue, you can see where somebody, myself, ran off course, came to a near stop, and then realized what happened, got back on course. On the right side, what I've got is change in velocity. Basically, anything in red is giving it gas, blue is brake. So you can see where I ran off course and hit the brakes, got back on the power, coming back on course. But you can compare any two people. I can zoom into an area if I want and see where the course path may be changed between the 3 drivers or 2 drivers. And I can zoom in on braking and see where one person might brake earlier or later than the other one. Let's go back to full view on both, and all I'm doing is hitting this little icon, and there is where we were pitting down here and coming out on course. Other things you can do is down at the bottom, let's hit this little arrow up, and now we can see the 5 runs. And if I want to go see just 1 run, what I can do is drag this little box over and drag the one over from the right side. And now we're just seeing 2 runs. I can drag it over to the right. And now we're looking at 1 run path. Hit the arrow down, and it zooms back out. Control P for play. And there's real-time speed. So now for something a little different. What I've loaded up is this is off our autocross car, where I've got map, RPM, and TPS across the top. This happens to be 1 drive through the course plus 4 autocross runs. And at the bottom, what I've got is G's gas brake and G's left right. I have an accelerometer up under the hood of my car that constantly measures gas brake left and right, and actually vertical. Notice that there are 3 lines to the right of gas brake and left right. And I'm going to go ahead and apply a smoothing filter. I think this is limited to Mega Log Viewer HD, but I can apply a smoothing factor. And I can change it to whatever factor I want. I happen to have it set at 20. So now let's go to scatter plots. What this is I've filtered out by sliding this slider at the bottom of the screen to only show 1 run. There's the 1 run. This is what's known as the traction circle. You can do a Google search for the traction circle. But basically what this is this how hard the car corners and left right, where I'm up around as my total G's. Right here is total G's, and I'm about 1.3 G's left, also about 1.3 G's right. And total braking, this particular car, at least at some point on the course, I was getting, if I home in on that, I'm getting right at 2 G's of acceleration on braking. If I want to, I can go to histogram plots and see that same 2 G's in color. But other strange things we can do just for fun is instead of total G's, let's go to TPS position and see where these guys are actually cornering, how hard they're on the gas. So I'm going to come down to TPS. And now in the field, you can see how hard they're in the throttle on average. And what I can do is change it down to 1 digit. And you can see up in this area, they're in the 70 or 80%. As they're at full cornering, they're at about half throttle. And under braking, they're virtually out of the throttle entirely. If you want to, you could change this from TPS to map. I'm going to put M, go to the first thing that starts with M, and then change to map. So you can see that I'm essentially 100 kPa through the throttle, or through cornering left and right. You can see these guys back off the throttle to about 50 kPa. Hard on the brakes, they're down in the 20 kPa. Other things we can look at is AFR. I'm going to hit an A to go to the first thing that starts with A, and then come down to AFR. And you could use this to see if you've got serious fuel starvations, left turn, right turn, or on the brakes. This car does not seem to have any problems with that. This moment, I'd like to take just a moment to thank my friends at tunerstudio.com that writes the software we use for this data analysis, DIY AutoTune that supplies the parts and pieces and EFI tuning devices, ECUs, that we use, and msextra.com. Thank you for watching.